Hi, everyone, and thank you for joining this Coaching-Infused Conversation. I'm Christelle Soto-Suarez. I'm the founder of Pistachio Cassis Coaching, and I call myself a self-leadership awakener. And my mission is to inspire, support, and empower mid-level professionals, especially those who feel overlooked and on autopilot, and to inspire to take small but meaningful actions toward that better life, better career that so many of us dream of, and to do that on their own terms. So what I'm doing today, it's a bit like a free food sample. It's to give you a taste of my coaching style, while but to do that in a format that allows you to listen to it, watch it again whenever you want, without having to participate, because I know that is not always easy to do so, while still providing you with a space to pause, to reflect, to look at your challenges from a different perspective, and very importantly, I think, to let your mind wander in unexpected directions. And the goal for today is for you to leave this conversation with one action to do straight away, an action designed by you, and for now. Now, obviously, this type of conversation is a lot more effective when we have an actual interactive conversation. So today, if you're watching live, feel free to post comment, but otherwise, imagine you're having a live conversation. So I like to start those conversations with setting the scene. And today you're taking a pause out of your busy day, busy life, and your mind wander, your thoughts wander. And today you're thinking about that goal that you really, really want to achieve, but you're struggling with. And you wonder what it would be like if you had the perfect support system to guide you. So that's what we're going to explore today while having fun. That is very important. The fun, the imagination, the letting the mind wander is very important to me. Okay. So first of all, think of that goal or that challenge that you are struggling with. Keep that in mind throughout the conversation. I'm going to share mine, of course, so I can use it as an example. So today, my goal is to do more conversations like this one, more workshops, interactive ones with either my own or with other organizations, but to do more of them. So now that we have our challenge in mind, let's imagine that challenge is an expedition. Maybe it's climbing a peak or discovering a treasure, whatever the treasure is, or mapping out, underground caves, for example. You just think of an expedition that attracts you, whatever comes up to your mind, really. As long as it relates, it means something to you. So for me, the expedition I'm thinking of is an expedition to draw out a map that will show a path from one insight to another so that people can follow that map, that path later on their own. Okay, so that's my challenge. So we have our challenge, we have our expedition as a metaphor. Now let's imagine that we have successfully completed this expedition. We've got to the end, we were successful. Who do you say thank you to? And right now, I know it's whoever is going to come up to your mind. And that's okay if it's not a specific person or a specific title, if it's vague. Vague is fine for now. I just want to get your mind going on this idea. So try to think of three people or type of people you would say thank you to. So in my case, I would say thank you to someone I called a map drawer. That would be some kind of expert that would help me draw that map, draw the flow of conversation so that it's more effective and more impactful. I would also say thank you to some kind of guide that are helping me see what's hidden. And that would be in life, that would be somebody like a coach that is helping me see behind the norms, behind my own norms. And the third person I would say thank you to would be a companion who's walked on that expedition with me, who's been there all the time, just to be with me. And that would be the supporter, the friend that, they are just there, they are supporting you. They may not really know why you do it, but they are there for you. So those are the three people that first come to my mind when I think of who I would say thank you to. So, what about you? Who would you say thank you to once you've completed your expedition? And as I said, it's okay if it's very vague, if it's friends or experts. Right now, you don't quite know what type of expert that would be, but it's just experts. So, whatever comes up to your mind, who would you say thank you to? Okay. Now, let's come back to the present. Who is already around you? Who is already part of your expedition team? Who or what? And I say that because that can be obviously somebody from your inner circle or from your professional network. That can also be writers and speakers who they don't know you exist. You know about them, you've read, you've listened to them, but they have no idea you exist. I would say that can also be fictional characters. If they provide you some guidance, why not? And nowadays, that can be AI too. So obviously, AI, like with people, you don't have to believe everything it tells you. You have to make your own judgment afterward. But that can be a support. So who or what is already supporting you right now, is already part of your expedition team, basically. And how do you feel about your present situation? So for me, in my case, who do I have? I have a few friends, they're along me. They may not always understand what I do, but it's fine. They're supporting me, being with me. I have a few coaches too, with whom I have coaching conversations to explore, to go deeper, to see what I'm not seeing on my own. And I have what I call a lot of theory about workshops. So what I mean by that, I mean, articles, podcasts, even some mini courses about how to do a workshop, what should be in a workshop, etc. But it's all theory at that stage. And how this makes me feel is that, yes, I am doing those workshops, but I think I've reached a stage where I'm kind of stuck in my comfort zone with doing those workshops. I have a few organizations I do them with. I have my own event. I have my style, and I kind of settle there. And I feel I'm stuck. It's been helpful until now, but I need to move further. I need to move forward. So how about you? Who is already part of your expedition team? Who or what is already there? And as I said, just whoever or whatever is coming up first to your mind, even if it seems a bit odd. As I said, AI could be part of your support system. It's just, as a person, it's how you use it and what you do with the information it gives you. Okay, so now we visualize a successful future and who we would say thank you to. We've looked at who is already part of our expedition team. Now, who would you want to add in your existing expedition team? Who would you want to add or replace? Just pick one, whoever is coming first. So maybe it's whoever you attracted the most to that you want to add to your team, whoever is easiest to add, or maybe whoever is more important right now for you. Just make sure this is your choice. This is not because other people tell you you should do that or you should have this person in your support system. So, for example, for me, the one member I want to replace actually is I want an expert. I don't want just theory now. I want an expert to help me with the flow of my workshops to make them more effective and more impactful for the attendees, for the participants. So how about you? Who is that one member whether it's a person or something that you want to add first into your team. Add or replace. Maybe you already have somebody or something, but it doesn't bring you anything anymore. You need to replace with something different. Who is coming up? And as I said, just make sure this is your choice. And it's okay to go for whoever is easiest to add or whatever is easiest to add. This is fine, especially for the first time. Okay, so now we know who we want to add in our expedition team. Now, let's quickly brainstorm. I would say 3 for today. 3 actions you could potentially do sometime in the future to bring that person in. So those actions, as I said, they're potentially, so maybe you can do them now, but maybe it's for sometime in the future. Maybe you don't have all the resources or knowledge to do those actions right now. This is fine. Or maybe you're not ready to do those actions. This is fine. Right now, you are just looking at what actions you could do sometime in the future. Just release the pressure. Action you could potentially do. Just do a brief brainstorm. What could you do? So for me, what could I do to bring that expert in? Well, I could get a consultant who would, write the flow of the conversation for me. I could also get very specialized trainers that would really help me understand the process of how a workshop works, etc. Another action that came up to my mind is I could use AI to explore better what makes a workshop a good workshop, an effective workshop, while still keeping my voice. So those are 3 actions that I'm thinking of right now. There's more, obviously, but if you can get to 3, that is fine. So what are those 3 actions you could potentially do sometime in the future? Don't limit yourself to what you think you could do now. Just be very open. What 3 actions you could do to bring that member in? Okay, now pick one of those actions. And don't be scared. This is not about doing the action right now. Just pick one. Again, the one you're the most attracted to, the one that is easiest, whatever. Again, make sure this is your choice. So me, I would pick the action of using AI. I think that's a good action to start with. I'm not quite sure how to do the whole thing with AI yet, but I can certainly start and explore this. So how about you? What's that one action you could start looking into? You could start exploring what could you do with that action. So just pick one. Again, make sure this is your choice. Okay. Now we're going slowly toward the end of this conversation. Now that you've picked the one action you want to look into first, think about what you could do today on this action to start the action. So I'm saying today because it means you already have everything you need to take the action. All the knowledge, all the resources, all the time, all the energy, finances, you already have everything you need to do it today. It also increases the likelihood of you taking this action. Because if I say an action, what could you do sometime in the next 7 days? Well, I think like many of us, life is likely to take over and you won't take the action. So you've picked one global action that you want to start with. Think about what it is you can do about this action today. So for me, for example, what can I do today? Well, today I can take half an hour, take tea or coffee and start exploring, having those conversations with AI. I'm using ChatGPT for now, but how could I could spend half an hour to explore how could I use AI to improve my knowledge of workshop flow while keeping my voice. I don't want my workshops to be a copy of somebody else. I want I still want them to be my style. So I could have that half-hour conversation. It's probably just the beginning of a longer conversation, but I could do that. Now, let's imagine today I'm busy. I've got meetings, things to do. I don't have time for that half hour. Well, I could look at my calendar and schedule that half hour for later on. The scheduling would be the action I do today. And if I'm really, really busy and I don't even have time to look at my calendar, or things happening right now and my calendar keeps moving, I can't schedule anything. Well, I can set a reminder on my phone. I mean, I think most of us have a cell phone now. Setting a reminder will take a few seconds. So it can be as small as setting a reminder, but you are doing something. And that is what I want you to do. That's the goal of those workshops, is to get you to start something. Start easy. Start with what you can do right now. So when you think back of the action you have decided to look into first, what can you do about it today? What can you do to start this action today? And as I said, maybe it's half an hour reflection, maybe it's 5 minutes to send one message, and maybe it's just a few seconds to set a reminder. But what can you do today? Okay. Now, imagine you're taking that one action today, which is not that easy because life will take over right after this conversation. Imagine you've taken that action today. How do you feel? I know for me, when I take that action, I will feel like a door is slightly opening. It's not much, it's not wide open, but it's just opening a little bit. It's that beginning of going somewhere. You take that one action today. How do you feel? Now, imagine you keep taking actions, maybe one small action every week on this larger action that you've decided to look into. And then maybe the small steps action you do becomes a bit bigger every time. And maybe instead of being once a week, it's twice or 3 times a week. And slowly you make progress. And slowly you get that new member into your expedition team. Imagine yourself in 3 months' time, in 6 months' time, and you've made that progress. Maybe you've even got that person of that what in your team now, and they're actively part of your support system. How do you feel about having made that change? What's changing in your life because you've got that additional support system in, or you're getting closer to getting it? Now, imagine you are not taking action. You live this conversation today, you were not able to take the action, the one small action you had decided to take for whatever reason. Life happened, we get busy, and so you're not able to take it today, and you're not able to take it in the next week. And 3 months, in 3 months' time, you look back and nothing has changed. You're still in the same situation. You still don't have the support system that you need. You haven't been able to make any progress on that. How do you feel? What is it costing you in terms of the changes that are not happening in your life? Now, which one of those two versions do you prefer? And it's your choice. The not doing action is not so bad. And that is fine. If you realize that, then we can move on to another goal. But if the one you prefer, the one you want, is the one where you take action, how do you increase your chances of success, of taking action week after week on your own? That is very hard. For a lot of us, it is very hard to keep the momentum going. This is how we human beings are built, most of us at least. So how can you increase your chances of success? Well, you do that with accountability. And let me share something on the screen. First, my mouse is frozen. Let me make sure I share the right one, of course. Okay, So you increase your chance of success with accountability. That support system that is there to help you do the reflection, decide on the action to take, that is there to make sure you take action and that you keep doing it. So first, I am actually offering you a free accountability bonus, which is a series of 3 messages that you will receive within a week of signing up for it. As I said, this is free, and this is to remind you of the conversation today and also of the one action you decided to take and to nudge you in taking that action. So you can sign up using the QR code there, and I will also put it in the link in the chat. If you want something more concrete, more active, you can, of course, get an accountability partner like me. And if that's something you are curious about, feel free to schedule a call with me. This is free, of course. This is just to see how I could help you, or if I'm even the right person to help you. Sorry. Okay. And you can, of course, visit my website and check my upcoming events. Okay. So I do hope that I will see you either signing up. Sorry, I need to drink something. Yeah, so I was saying, I do hope I will see you either signing up for the bonus, signing up for a conversation, a chat, or attending one of my events. And before you leave this conversation and you go back to your life, busy life, I would love you to take a moment to think about what you got out of this conversation. I know it was quick. This is a sample. And obviously, without the active participation, the flow goes quicker. But yeah, I'd like to know what you got out of this conversation. What came up to your mind? What was unexpected? This is, I think, the most important, is to notice the unexpected thought that we have, to look at our challenges differently. That's the point of using the metaphor. And feel free to let me know what came up for you. I would love to know. So, thank you very much for watching, for listening. I do hope that you are going to take action. And